The Passionate Leader, because leadership without passion is just a title.
Meeting. We got a collapse in the garage. Get the squad back equipment in here. We got an I-beam pond to a firefighter.
Get that island urgent. Transmit a second along.
This is where titles end and leadership begins. Ask yourself, are you still a student of the craft, or did you confuse time served with growth? Jon Chamberlain entered the fire service at 15 through a junior firefighter program, and 30 years later still calls himself a student. Medically retired as a fire captain, he built his career the hard way. He listened more than he spoke. He learned from the salty and the crusty, and he let his work ethic talk instead of chasing paper or titles. Do you understand the difference between firehouse built on culture and a fire station that just exists to punch a clock? Ask yourself if you are ready for the moment when being everyone's friend ends and being the boss begins. Before I welcome him to the show, I do have to say this. Big John has not been a part of my journey all that long, but has left a profound mark on my career. In mid-November of 2025, during a training weekend in Ohio, our paths have crossed. Not through speeches, not through ego, but through presence, honesty, and the kind of quiet guidance that sticks with you long after turnout gear is hung up. As luck would have it, in a unique and meaningful way, John gave me the chance to finally repay a debt that I didn't realize I owed to the fire service. You see, early in my career, my fire service giant, Matt Wilson, opened the door to get me into this job. He believed in me before I had any business even believing in myself. And John's impact was able to bring that full circle. It reminded me why the door mattered and why we owe it to the next generation to hold it open without asking for credit. How was I able to pay that debt, you may ask? Well, it was really simple. It was repaid by handing John my SCBA so this old boy could get one last experience with live fire and under his belt. No ceremony, no spotlight, just one firefighter giving the chance to close the loop the right way. That moment had nothing to do with gear and everything to do with respect, gratitude, and honoring the people who shape us. The kind of influence does not show up on a resume, it shows up in people. And with that, we are fortunate to welcome to the Passionate Leader, Jon Chamberlain. Welcome to the show.
Well, thank you for having me, and I didn't know I was going to need Kleenex before I actually got on, man. Yeah.
I mean everything that I said, man, and to this day I still think about that, and it was such a fun time.
It was
such a fun time.
I'll never forget that with you and the other instructors allowing me to do that. One last time, just to say, the fire never got me. And that meant a whole lot. That meant a whole lot, and I'm glad I could bring you into the mix. And I'm gonna put that mask up somewhere. I'm gonna have a wall for it. I promise you.
I bet you didn't, nor did I, think that I would be going a solid 8 to 12 hours away from home and able to finally repay that debt. And it's been something that I knew I needed to do something in the fire service, and it was, I figured it would come in time. I was not expecting it to be, states away and with somebody that I have never met before. So
yes, sir. Absolutely.
It was, there's no doubt that you're somebody's fire service giant, and for me to repay another brother's fire service giant is the way to do it. So I mean, we've kind of built in like how you got into the fire. So we know who you are. I guess, how did you come, into the fire service and everything like that? Why don't you kind of walk us through?
No holes barred, right?
Amen, brother. Yep.
So, I actually wanted to join the fire service after I saw my local volunteer department pump on my dad because he overdosed. And that's really like, for a 10-year-old at the time, we always want to grow up to be some big noble, a fireman, a policeman, a soldier, we want to,
Sure,
we
yep.
want to, because that's who we look up to. So after that, incident. A couple years later, uh, we did it again.
Okay.
Um, and I think I was 13, and I kept going up to my volunteer station and, hey, are you, can I come up and watch the trucks? Can I just, be around? I want to be a fireman. And no,
Hmm.
you're too young. You're too young. But we will be starting up a program. So just keep checking back with us. And man, I was on top of that like a fly on watermelon, son.
Yep.
Uh, so when I turned 15, they opened the door to me.
Mm.
Um, my mentors there, they were the old salties and the crusties that you were talking about.
Yeah.
Um, they held me to a standard that not only kept me out of trouble in high school from fighting or such, uh,
Right. Right.
but but it also helped me with my grades too. We would be at training night. Hey, you got homework? Yeah, I didn't finish it for I can't go home. And they
Okay.
and they were
Yep.
they were serious about it. And if I had to keep a C average,
Hmm.
to be in the program, but you know, after that, man, I was going to live burns. I guess back then I was chasing certificates, Oh, I
Sure.
went to this live burn. I guess and by the time I was doing our firefighter 1 and 2 program here in North Carolina, I was doing 1 to 2 classes a week going
Hmm.
from different fire stations, different towns, to get certified. And then by that time, when I was 18, I was ready to go. I mean, I was hell bent. Um, they blew my head up a little bit. They gave me a red hat, made me a boss. Um, back then, it was great. It was
Sure.
great being a boss. But back then, I knew nothing about being a boss.
Hmm.
I just knew that, hey, you get to talk on the radio, and you get to have a little bit more responsibility, and then you get to put reports in the computer and shit like that. uh, but like I said, I wasn't ready to be a boss, didn't know how to be, but I was, and from that, I think, um, helped me push to a leadership position. Because after I turned 18, they put me in charge of the actual junior program itself, and I had 5 young men and women. Didn't want to exclude anybody. As cadets, they would come in at 15 to 18.
Hmm.
So um, now one of them, he owns his own business. One is a staff sergeant in the Marine Corps. Um, the other one, uh, man, he's a battalion chief at a career department now. And to think, and one of the guys, we got together the other night, and one of the guys said, it was us. You were the one that we followed, and now look. And I'm like, damn, now you make me feel old. But I said, I appreciate that. That gives me honor, and I'm proud of each and every one of you.
Mm.
So that made me feel a little good. But getting back, so joined. I got my first career uh, start September the 8th. Um, and I was working just the day shift until that week was up. Uh, September 11th happened, and we watched we were out checking trucks, and guy come out, and he's like, he was coming in from another his career department to work part time, so he had come in with a biscuit. Yeah, I'm going to go eat, and then I'll come out and get on the floor with you guys. So he come out, and he slung the door. He said, "Holy shit, guys, come here!" And we're like, "What?" And he's like, "A plane just flew into the tower." And all that is history. So we go in and we're just glued to the TV like
Yeah.
everybody else in the nation. We're glued to the TV, and then I got to thinking, wow, that's a lot of brothers that we just lost really quick, really quick.
Hmm.
And I'm thinking, damn, what did I just get myself into? This is what we're fixing to do. I'm no longer a volunteer. This is my game.
Mm,
I'm at the big show, now. I'm a big
sure.
career fireman, not with the city, not a city fireman, but everybody wants to go to the big city. Uh, but after the September 11th, that gave me more drive to want to
Mm,
be more in my job and to learn my job better than I thought I knew it. Uh, and at that point, you know, knowledge is something that they can't take away from you. That's kind of like your
right.
last name.
Mm, I love it. I love now. One of the phrases you use a lot, and I love it, and it comes up a lot on the lives is "We'll be friends until you make me be your boss."
Damn
What
right.
what does that look like in practice, and how often did you unfortunately have to use that phrase?
I did it when you come in as a new guy to my shift. I give you the expectations talk, and that's when I tell you, look, we're gonna be friends, okay? We're gonna be friends until you fuck up. Don't put me
Mm,
in that situation to have to do my job.
yeah, yeah.
So that's part of the expectation talk, which I don't know. Maybe a lot of officers do. Maybe they don't. Maybe they should.
I think it's something that I can't really say that I ever had one when I started up here. I had it when I started as an explorer or a junior firefighter, however, whatever term we'd want to use for it. But you don't really you don't get much when you join, at least in the combination volunteer side. It's the hey, more of the expectation is we have training on the first and third Monday of the month, and that's it. And
Right.
it boils down to, we don't necessarily have a call number percentage expectation that we have. So I think there's a lot of value to be had with somebody who sets those expectations, because from a firefighter's viewpoint, I can tell you that if I know what the cap wants, I know what not to do.
Right.
Or if you want to be a little bit more cynical, I know what lines I can toe, so to speak.
That's right.
So I love I fucking love that philosophy, because there's I mean, we'll go back a couple of generations. It used to be the mindset of um you have to earn my respect. I'm the chief, or I'm the boss, or whatever the case is, and you
That's
have to
right.
earn my respect. And it's like, why they're already behind the eight ball, knowledge wise. Why are we putting them behind the eight ball personality wise too?
Yeah. I mean
Give
that
them the
that just
benefit.
beats.
We trusted them enough, right?
That's right. I mean that
Yeah,
that just
no, I
that
I
just
I,
beats
I
them
love
down.
it. It does. Right. Now, highest rank was captain that you got to?
Yes, sir. That's as high as I wanted to go.
Amen. Why not higher?
Too much politics.
All right. Fucking
I
bureaucracy, right? We'll say it.
I I mean, I would rather be sitting at the table with my guys and sitting in the office pushing a pen, you know. I
Mm.
mean, hell, give me a rag. I'll help mop the floor. Well, not with a rag, but you give me a rag and we'll go do some wheels on some trucks, polish them boys
Mm.
up.
No, I love it. So 30 years, calls aside, um, what have been some of the most rewarding parts of the American Fire Service for you?
Man,
I'd be lying if I told you I was giving you easy questions. I worked hard on these ones, so you're gonna have to work equally as hard.
okay, all right, all right. I'm glad I put my thinking cap on. Uh, um, I'm gonna say the friendships, dude. The brotherhood,
Mm.
That's probably I've met some of the best people in my life through the fire service. Have not only learned about fire shit, but about life as well. And I have gone places I never thought I would go above the Mason Dixon. This real big place. It's got all these really ass tall buildings and stuff. Much less underground on a train. Like God Almighty. But I love those subways. They smell great. Uh, uh, but yeah, I mean the guys that I have met and the journey that I have been, I can't say as I would go back and change anything that I've done. I made a grab of a dog. The owner didn't want it. It was caught on video. The actual so to set the stage with you, it was absolute snowstorm. Everything was closed down. The local news said, "Hey, go out and film something." Like,
Sure.
well, what am I going to film? Nobody's on the road, nothing. Everything's shut down. Well, they told him to go out, fly around. Well, he saw the smoke column from probably, well, I wouldn't say how far because he's in the air, so I have no clue. But he
Mm.
saw the smoke column, and he came, and right when I took the glass to the sliding glass door, he started filming, and he filmed that
Uh-huh.
whole incident. He's got the top of the garage flashing twice, like I mean, we had fire all above us, didn't know it because it was 3/4 tongue and groove. The next incoming department, they fiddle well, they fiddle plucked,
You can swear.
and and
Hey,
and we
buddy.
we
Yep.
were we were in there for a little while, John Wayne it, and
Yep.
it's a cool ass video because I can go through and tell you everything that's happening on the inside. Uh, I
Mm.
heard something. Me and my partner. I said, "Hey," I tapped him on the back. I said, "You hear that?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "I'm gonna go back and see what it is." So when I followed the sounds of the whimpering, I thought it was somebody crying. Well, I opened the door to the garage. The dog had fell through the floor.
Mm.
So I found the dog, and I took it outside and I put it down because I didn't, I had shit to do. EMS was
Yeah.
there. I went back to work. We come back out. We were mopping up. I'm like, "Hey, how's the dog?" We are like, "Man, they took that bitch to the vet, code 3, like lights and sirens." And I said, "Man, that's cool. Okay." So after that fire, a couple weeks go by, and the vet calls the station and is like, "Hey, you know, is this the department that brought us the dog?" And we're like, "Yeah." And, well, is he there? And no, so they waited till I come back on shift and they called and said, "Hey, this is so and so vet. We understand the situation with the dog and that you grabbed it, and would you like it?" And
Uh-huh.
what do you mean, would I like it? Well, the owner doesn't want to pay the vet bills because of the burns. And if you will take this dog, we will waive all the vet bill. I said, absolutely. So I have no clue what the dog's name was before. I named it Smokey. It responded to Smokey, and we had a bond. It knew, and
Mm.
that's some wild shit to think about. But you see it
Yeah.
you see it on TikTok all the time. People saving the eagles and stuff and the seals from the fishing nets and all that shit, and then they swim back by, and you know, uh, it's just amazing, how the Lord puts everything into perspective for us. But
Mm. I love it. Well, and I think your culture and upbringing from that part of the States really helps a lot too. I think,
oh, the good
you
old
you have
Bible
the
Belt,
ability
you
to see
mean?
that.
Well,
That's it. Yeah, I mean that's kind of the best way to explain it. I mean, you understand that everything happens for a reason, right? It doesn't necessarily have to mean from a specific reason, but I
Yeah,
think that
absolutely.
it's you appreciate it.
Yeah,
No,
absolutely.
that's I I love it. Um, so as a student of the craft, what are some of the biggest advancements that you can see coming down the pike in the fire service that you kind of wish were around when you were still active?
Training,
Okay.
training. Um, I wish I had better instruction. And we talk about the community college system a lot and how it's failing the other
Mhm.
students of the craft, and trying to hone skills. They're just trying to push a test. Pass
Mhm.
this test so I can get paid. Okay. It's not about going out. Okay. Take a test. Great. Now show me you can do the damn shit.
Mhm.
Get out there, force a door. Hell, man, I had a young kid coming through. He just had his firefighter 1 and 2 salvage class, and we went in to do overhaul and shit. And the dude, he went to pull ceilings and he made Swiss cheese. He didn't even have the hook turned around the right way. I'm like, and this is what the
Oh,
fuck you
Jesus
do,
Christ.
really. So that I would say training. I wish training was a whole lot better like it is now. Um,
Mm,
we, I say we as the box 1971, we go around and we do that training. We make
yeah.
I mean, we don't care about your feelings. We're here to make sure that you retire and you go home and your crew goes home. And if you feel like your toes get stepped on, well, you should have picked your feet up off the floor or put them on a stool. I don't know what to tell you, son.
It that is so fucking true. And I think it was probably one of the more rewarding times with being down with you guys was that candid, we're gonna tell you guys how it is. Like you fucked up and but we're gonna help you unfuck it up because this is how it's gonna work.
Right.
And I mean, I think um there were some opportunities, the back to divine intervention type stuff, there were a lot of opportunities for it to go horribly wrong. And I mean, there were some things, a mechanical breakdown of a truck, but this is all real life shit. And I think what
Real
was the
world.
coolest
That's right.
thing was that we didn't, yeah, real world, we did not stop. It was, well, that's a fucking shit sandwich, but we're gonna eat it mouthful with a smile because this is what we have to do.
Yeah,
And
that shit got
I
hot then.
it you so you were you in for that, were you inside for that fire? You must have
No,
been. I think it was
I
the
was
second
standing.
evolution.
Yeah, I was standing on the outside when the damn outside started burning.
Yeah, so the and it was a what a perfect opportunity. I mean, it sucked because it was hot, right? And but I mean, it's one of those, again, a controlled environment. Everybody knows, look, it's not going to get to a unsurvivable space. It's gonna get fucking hot,
Right.
but because of the, it's in a container and all that stuff. And what was cool about it being like that is, this truck breaks down and the chauffeur is, as green can be. He's Kermit the Frog green, so to speak. And I
Coming through color.
hey, amen, brother. Um, and me, from my vantage point for that one, he was, so I was the IC post, and I saw this poor kid just like a deer in headlights. I'm like, well, what a great opportunity, because if we were on the training grounds at a state fire academy or a community college or wherever the case is, we would have blown the horns, pulled everybody out, let the fire burn out whatever it was doing,
Yeah.
and then did a cool wash, not a hot wash, because we got to be kinder and gentler. Um, but we were able to let it run. Yeah, right.
Not wait,
Like
kinder in general to who?
to the
I
students, right? The you so
Dude, this is real world shit. We don't coddle to people.
amen.
if you come in to
Amen. And
learn, if
that's
you
what made the
are,
training
do you
awesome.
I t do you think Jeremy's too hard? Do you think I mean,
Not at all.
it's
No,
just us, bro. It's just us and whoever else is listening or gonna listen.
yeah. No, I fucking loved that weekend. I do not think that Mudflap and I stopped talking about how amazing that weekend was for the entire 10-hour ride home. We never
I
stopped
Man, Eddie
because
Eddie's something else,
it
man.
was
He's
real
awesome.
world. Yeah, he is. Yeah, um because we kept it was kept real world. It ran through
Mhm.
and um we'll use even the first evolution that got screwed up. We ended up just letting it run through, and then we come to find out when Dickie gave us the times, we're talking, what was it, 20, it was just shy of 20 minutes before they finally gained entry and found the baby. And I
Yep, you're
like
right.
that's not acceptable in the American Fire Service. Our job, yes, is firefighters. I get that, that's our title, but I am hard and fast on we search and we search first.
Right.
I am 100% confident in if we're training our people right, that we should be able to make a push search wise real quick to try to find victims, because our job is victim recovery, period. Or victim
Yeah,
I shouldn't say
there you
recovery, it's a
go.
bad word to use. Victim removal.
Yeah,
Victim removal. We are in the rescue business, not the recovery business. And I think that's what I had said there during the thing. But yeah, back to the mechanical malfunction of that this poor kid doesn't, and I could see it. And the weekend in Ohio, like I said, it offered me a lot of opportunities to repay a lot of mentorship that I received as a young firefighter, that I have not, even in my role as a deputy chief, I've not been able to repay that amount of debt, because I had Matt, who my fire service giant. He was episode 1, and this show would have not started without him, because if he had said that he didn't want to be my first guest, I wasn't going to do a podcast, because I knew he had to be my number 1 episode.
nice.
Um, he's the one that he started my fire service journey, and it was through his hand on the shoulder mentorship, I'm going to teach you how to crawl, and then we're going to walk, and then we're going to run. And
That's right.
his model of mentorship that I try to continue through our fire service. But I hadn't had that opportunity yet to really start doing that until this last weekend, back down in Ohio. And it was great because I had the chance to, we've already talked about what I, with you, but, even with some of the students, it was like, hey, we'll use the pump operator for that. I could see that you could just tell in his body language that he's like, it's not acting right. Something's wrong with the truck. So,
Right.
I mean, I think any firefighter that says that they've never fucked up, putting a truck into pump from getting on scene they've never pumped a fire in their lives in, because I've done it at least a
That's
couple
right.
of times. It happens. It
Absolutely.
happens.
Absolutely happens.
So it gave me the chance. I went over to the kid and I'm like, hey, brother, like I said, listen, it's you and me. There's no smoke, there's no fire. It's just you and me. Go back into the cab of the truck, bring it back to where it was, and let's go back through the sequence to get it in gear. And then, of course, when it didn't do it, I'm like, so this is a shit sandwich, and we need to figure out a solution. I said our solution is going to be right. So I'm like, here's what we're gonna do. We're going to disconnect the line that they pulled off, because it's already at the door, deployed, ready to go. I'm like, so we're going to take it off this truck and we're going to put it on the next due engine. And all we got to do is just let them know we're going to hook into your discharge, and that's
Mhm.
it. They pump the scene. This is this is essentially a fucking utility box is all we have now for this fire engine, but that's okay.
Right.
And I feel that the kid did fine, and even the individual that was put in the officer's seat was kind of set up to fail too. But we had I had the chance to kind of go for a little lap around the firehouse and be like, look, dude, I know you're beating yourself up, and that tells me that you care, and that tells me everything that I need to know about where your head is for the fire service. And I'm like, and it ended up working out, because we took that break right then and there. I think that's when we took our lunch break. Um, and it gave us the chance to sort of reset, and we were able to finagle some stuff where that particular firefighter was given somebody to sort of shadow, because I saw it immediately. I'm like, this kid needs a shadow. He needs
Right.
somebody to kind of be like, all right, so we're gonna go in. And I asked him, I said, if I can get us realigned where I can be with you, would you feel comfortable with me going inside with you, walking you through? He's like, yeah, I would. It ended up working out perfectly anyways without me doing it. But that's the shit that's what the American Fire Service, I think, is really missing, is somebody who's like, hey kid, you fucked it up, but I'm going to help you unfuck this up. And we're going to do it together. I'm going to show you how to do it. And then I'm going to leave you alone to do it by yourself once I feel that
Right.
you're confident doing it. I,
Right.
you know, and
Well,
that I think
like
you're spot on.
I mean, if we put him in the position, and he quickly found out what that position was, and he
Hmm.
absolutely he knew nothing about the position. So one,
Yeah.
if you get a run, and if you don't think you're comfortable riding the seat or making decisions, don't fucking sit in the seat. If you are
Yeah.
indecisive about
Amen,
making
brother.
decisions, you don't need to ride the seat. You need it. You make a damn decision and you go with it. Second guess yourself after
Hmm.
the shit's done. Right, wrong, or indifferent.
Fucking right.
Hell yeah, fucking right.
I so and so we did it to a couple and actually, you know what? Honestly, Mudflap was one of them. Eddie was one of them. So we had a live burn earlier this year, I think like February, March time. And he was in position to be one of our next officers. And it worked out. We were doing a live burn. So the one lieutenant was doing non-cert, because live burns, you got to be certified, blah blah blah. So
Right, right,
we said a hard and fast: if you're not Fire One certified, your ass ain't going in that building. I'm sorry, it sucks, because we all like to see heat or feel heat, see fire, and all that fucking shit. It's great, right? That's why we're in it. But we're not going to put somebody in a position that they're not at least um, they've shown that they've seen the qualifications. So we
right,
had one of our lieutenants, because what it was a small trailer park. It was 4 single wide mobile homes, and 2 of the 4 were not even worthy of doing a dry run in. So we left those ones alone. But there was one that was good for live fire and one that was good for cold stuff, whether it be smoke. So we smoked the building out for them, and that lieutenant took the non-cert guys and did shit in that one all night. That they were
right,
their own little training evolution. And then the other lieutenant was inside with me on the burn crew. And so that left our attack and our backup crews didn't have an actual fire officer from our agency with them, but we put the 2 most likely candidates based upon a recent lieutenant promotional test and exam and all that good nonsense.
right,
What we weren't expecting, where we failed, we didn't put any, a safety officer was not out inside. They were actually inside monitoring the conditions, which is what the ignition crew's job is to do, but that's neither here nor there. Um, and then there was, and I say it specifically me, because I made sure everybody was in place, but I never checked to make sure we had an IC out in the yard, monitoring the evolution as it went on. Because obviously I can't monitor the fire and the evolution. So we had 2 non-officers running our primary attack and our backup crew. Long story short, we light the fire, and there's a mechanical malfunction with one of the firefighters on our attack crew. I 100% feel that had we had a seasoned officer on either of the backup or the attack crews, they would have realized, holy shit, all right, you guys bounce. We're going to put the backup line in play. End of the day, it ended up burning up my jacket, a helmet. The lieutenant that was with me, he got a couple of burns to his hand. And I mean,
nice.
I'll have to show
Lord
you
have
that. I mean,
mercy.
we saw some, brother. We saw some heat. I think we were close to 800 or 900 degrees at the floor. It was warm. It
Holy
was, and
shit!
it's and well, and my helmet's actually back at the office. I'll send you a picture of it later, because it looks like, because it was white. It was just a fucking marshmallow.
Right,
It it boiled down to it was a systemic breakdown, including shit with myself. I'm not laying blame on anybody specifically.
Mhm.
Um, so we didn't really set our guys up again, we didn't really set them up for success because we didn't have somebody with them on the line. But what I can say is that a third person that was potentially, looking at being an officer, they're like, I don't like how this being responsible for guys in a situation like this really isn't very comfortable. Um, so I think, and you know what, brother, the best thing somebody could ever say to me before they become an officer is, I don't think this is really for me. I mean, they
Right.
they can say it after becoming an officer, but we're finally at a place in our agency where we have a required boot camp that we send them through, which is it's like a 6 session long. I teach a class on leadership, another one does like, stuff like that. Um, and then Shawnee does something for mental health and, firefighter, wellness and stuff. So
Mhm.
it's a good little class. And then so that's one part. Then there's a written exam, and then there's oral exams. So I'd rather somebody, tell me before they get to the very end and they're finally, ordained as a freaking, as a fire officer, that they're
Mhm.
like, yeah, this really isn't for me. Because now you fucking
But
wasted all my time.
that's right. Well, I tell you, let us come in and do our class, officer shit, and we'll find out who is who, and not to throw
I
a
freaking
side
love it.
gig. I'd love to come see you. Yeah, just throw a little bit.
Yeah, no. Well, I know we're gonna get you guys up here for damn sure, whether it's through my platform or the department, but we're gonna figure out a way.
Absolutely,
It
brother.
might mean you boys are sleeping in my basement, but it is what it is.
It is. It is what it is.
I,
That's right. Hey, have
I
cot,
mean,
will travel.
I fucking love it, dude. I love it. Let me see what so what, 30 years on the job, medically retired.
Yes, sir.
I'm just gonna say retired. I know I don't know if you have to legally say that, but you retired, right? It is what it
No,
is, dude.
no.
Like, um,
It's my heart, dude. It's my heart. I got a good heart, but a weak heart. And this just goes to everybody else. Look, take care of your damn heart. Take it.
mm,
We are in a stressful job. Quit eating all the shit. Um, I still eat the shit, but I mean, going out to eat every night, or just because it's quick, something. I mean, hell, a sandwich is quick. I mean, keep a loaf of bread and some crackers and some peanut butter.
mm,
That's quick, but take care of yourself, guys, and ladies, because it'll catch up to you. It'll
mm,
it'll catch up to you. I've had three uh, heart attacks, um, and couple of catheterizations. Got
mm.
me a little shocking device that you know, at this point, I have well, at this point in my health, I'm pretty satisfied with my decision to sign a DNR. Um,
Fair enough. Yeah.
I've gone through this a little while, and I'm not making light of anybody else's situation, because there's that I feel that my wife's stump toe trumps me, right? So, um, but not to downplay anybody else's stuff, because I know everybody is going through something, whether it be physically, mentally, shit we can't see. Somebody's going through some type of pain. All right. So,
Mm-hmm.
and to add to that, be like a human. Be a damn good human to people. Don't just and I try. I know I need to do as I say. Sometimes you know people just reach the limitations of my medication. You get me? so so I mean, yeah, and when I was on the line, my guy, I would come in and, have you took your crazy pills yet? And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, well, I take one to keep from killing somebody and one to keep from killing myself. And, but yeah, like one of the slap-a-hoe pills, I guess. Um,
Ah, dude, I that it's now, is is it a hereditary thing, or do you think it's a dietary thing that caught up to you?
uh, well, see, my mama always said I was special. And yes, it is hereditary. My mama's had 4 fatals on her side, so I'm kind of expecting it anyway.
Mm,
But I do have a uh, rare defect in my genetics, something ladder that they call it, some kinda double sphincter or something like that, I don't know. The,
I
but the test they have done, they have sent off to the Mayo Clinic, like,
okay.
I
Yeah.
yes, sir, but, I
Well,
mean, I'm still here.
you can't kick you out yet. I love it.
Well,
No,
the
I
the electrical doctor, I call him the electrical doctor, he went back and I hooked up with him, in 2018 when I had
okay.
my second heart attack. He looked back at my EKG, he said, "Man," he said, "I don't even know how you're here." He said, "Your T wave," he said, "That's what we call tombstones. Like, dude, you should not be here." Well,
Jesus.
he said the same thing to me on the 3rd one. He said, "Dude, I don't know how you know, it's 2." He said, "You're here for a reason." And at that point, yeah, I started to realize, and I had gotten into a pretty low spot,
Mhm.
and I had quit taking all of my medicine, like mental meds, heart meds. I was out pushing a lawnmower in 90 degrees trying to make it wear out, trying to make I was just
Yep.
done.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was done. And it's no different than taking pills, or it's no different than doing the
Sure.
other avenues. But yeah, that's what I was trying to do.
Mm.
And when that happened, and there was a point to where I was sitting on my front porch and something spoke to me and said, "It's not on your time, it's on my time."
Oh.
And that hit me pretty hard. I started crying, I ain't afraid to say it. Shit.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
but started crying, and I actually got a little bit more religious. I guess not more religious, but stepping back toward
Mm.
my faith, and a little more spiritual, I'd like to call it.
Yeah.
But it's I think a lot of the first responders and folks in our kind of work, not to exclude nurses or anything, because they see the shit after we see the shit and after it's done packaged up and anyway. But yeah, nurses are cool too. Um, I hope I don't get any
I
hate
love
mail.
it. No.
uh, but the stuff that we see, at some
Mm.
point you got to say, I'm done seeing it. But
Yep.
this is my career. This is what I love to do. And I think a lot of first responders are done before they even say they are, before
Okay.
they even realize they are.
Yeah.
And then that's good. That's going to kick a whole nother spot into mental health and shit. I don't know how long you want to go, but I'm gonna pop that cherry, brother.
No, that
I'm
you're
gonna go over an hour. I'm gonna do it.
so well, no, we're going to. We're gonna go until your bladder explodes. Um
Well,
it's my understanding that yesterday's John, you had a couple of stops at the potty breaks. That's all right. Um
hey, torsemide is a hell of a drug, son.
yeah. So you had that the epiphany moment, and you're like, it's not your time.
That's
Have
right.
you so I could say that if I was in your boots, I would you have that moment. Now, have you done any like soul searching to be like what is left? Like what do you think is left on this planet that Big John has not taken care of yet?
I don't know.
There you go. Yep. Hey,
I
it's
I I don't I don't I don't know what's left for Big John. I don't know. I know the memories and stuff that I have, and the memories that I've made with other people.
yeah,
Uh,
I
and
love it.
yeah, yeah,
I so here's a very pointed question for you. We're gonna get this. If you were to go tomorrow, would you be content with what you got done with your time here?
yes.
I love it.
What?
That
Well, no, yes. Damn it! I said
no,
make a
yes.
decision and go with it. I am satisfied of what I've done. I wish I could have done more.
Okay.
But
Is
to say, I've gone through my career, I've touched other people, people have touched me.
mm,
That didn't sound right. I'm trying to
did,
think of another
did
way
it?
to put it, but
I was
damn it, I
just gonna
can't.
ask. Did it feel? Did
In
they
your
touch
heart.
you?
In your
Yeah. Oh,
heart.
they touched your heart. Okay. All
Yeah,
right. I
they
wanted to
touch you
make
in the
sure
heart.
they didn't touch you in your no square because that's a
Well,
felonious problem, and that usually leads to
well,
charges.
it's not well, not unless you like it. I mean, no, we're damn it, JP, here we go. Um, oh hell, I don't forgot the question. What were we talking about?
I know it was if you were to get called home tomorrow, would you be
Yes, sir.
content with what you've done? Yeah,
Yeah,
I love it.
I would say that. Yes, sir.
Um, so back to the mental health stuff a little bit. I mean, as long as I will talk about whatever you're comfortable talking about. If you're not comfortable talking about it, just say let's not talk about it. Does that work
No,
for you?
dude, let's talk,
Um,
brother. My
s-
story may help somebody else. So, you
I
know,
love it. Yeah, and that's um so and I think you're spot on with saying that sometimes we're ready to be done in our careers before we're ready to be done, so to speak. Obviously your medical condition kind of screwed you over, but w- did it time out about the same when you had to medically retire? Were you already at that point, or do you think you still had a little bit more gas in the tank with mental health stuff? As far as consumption of shit calls and stuff.
it was more the mental.
Mm,
I had taken. I think it was like I had the time, and so I took. I think it was like 3 cycles. So that's almost. Well, that's almost 2 months.
yep.
And my therapist, I call her the crazy doctor. I hope that's what she is because I'm crazy. I take pills for it, right? So, um,
I fucking love
um,
you.
oh, uh, so I think I had a whole lot more to give,
hmm
and those 60 days out. Well, to put it in perspective, home life was not good. I
hmm
couldn't sleep. I was an asshole to myself. Um, I couldn't stand myself, and my therapist, the crazy doctor, she said she knew it was PTSD. She knew. She's like, what sets you? What drives this? What do you think? Do you know how's your sleep? Are you having sleepless nights? Are you having dreams? Are you restless? Can't sleep? And, I got in and opened up to her, you know, uh, I had those 60 days and home life got better. My attitude to everybody got better. I didn't get I'm gonna pop you in the mouth from my mama if you speak to me like that again. Uh, so yeah, and the therapist, she said, you kind of see the disconnect here. Yeah, you may love the guys, but we're not supposed to see bad shit all the time.
Right.
Like, I mean, the brain is not wired for that.
Mm.
And when you get, I call it PTSD, right? It's
Yep.
not a disorder. It's not a disorder. It's a disease. It's a disease.
Okay.
I say
Yeah.
it's a disease because you can't they can't cure that, okay?
Right.
That's why they call it practicing medicine. Yes, well, here, take this pill. Try this pill. Oh, take this pill and that pill.
Mm.
No, that pill's too much. No. Stop pushing pills and allow things to just go naturally, you know?
Mm.
And hell, I ain't scared to say it. It has helped me. We call it getting in your green. Um, but I'm telling you, I'm a firm believer. I used to be totally, totally, totally against it. And since I have found it after the fire service, I wish the fire service would allow not as on duty, but as some way to de-stress, right?
Oh, yes. Yep.
I'm not condoning it, but it does help me better than the pills do. I've
Mm.
read articles and forums about, the psilocybin and your magic mushrooms, and how that is a good brain reset for depression and PTSD as well.
Mm.
I have yet to find a pharmacist that will give some of those out. Uh, uh, but I mean, at the same time, you know, you got to look at this stuff. Sometimes it helps folks, sometimes it makes it worse. You got
Yeah.
hell side effects of half of the damn medicine is suicidal thoughts. Well, shit, why am I taking it to start with?
Yeah.
Right? So, um, but yeah, that disconnect was there, and I said, it's time to hang up, and
Mhm.
I didn't want to, but for my home life, I needed to, and I understand that, and she knew what the fire service meant to me, and she's like, I'm here with you, and we're going through it together,
Yep.
and that's what we did. We went through it, and I said bye, and everything got peachy king again.
Yeah.
Um, I still go by the stations and BS with the guys, because, well, you got to.
Oh, yeah.
And, but that past weekend, in Ohio, that actually lit that fire back in me, and I told Jeremy, I actually felt like an instructor. I actually felt like I was instructing because that was real world shit.
Mhm.
And this isn't, you have to tiptoe around people. You have to. HR would love me. Okay, we are the reason HR would have a job. All right, but when we get in your ass, it's because we're
Yeah.
seeing you do something wrong that could jeopardize you or your crew. And
Right.
then once that happens, that scene has gone to shit.
Yes.
So you might as well call in a whole nother alarm to take care of the original shit because we're going to go after our guy first.
Mm.
That's what we don't want to happen. So when we get in your shit, we get in your shit. But there's a reason.
Yeah.
No need to take it personal.
Well, in they if they take it personally, they should understand that it's done out of a place of care and affection because we know that again, this job can fucking kill us. And if we train like we're trying to stock the shelves of the grocery store, we're not going to be able to put the fire out, pull victims out, and do what's needed to be done when the shit really hits the fan. Yeah, it's that simple.
So we had a live burn that we did, and it was when our department went to a county department, and then we absorbed another department, and we did a live burn, more or less to see where each officer was, and how their chiefs could see how our officers were, how we could see how their officers were, and then how we could, kind of intermingle and make us all one
Hmm.
big happy family. Well, when you have an officer who is told to go in a room that is now burning, training burn, on the second story, the fire was in the bathroom. He never made entry into the bedroom before he started spraying water. Yeah, okay. So let's get your guys steam
Oh,
burned before you actually see some, the fire dragon. So, and at
sure.
that point, with him hesitating, that almost went real world. Like we were fixing to have to cut some vents. We were fixing to go. We were fixing to have to chase it. And uh, just me saying that, don't guys. This is a terrible job. No, 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 no. This is an awesome job with terrible consequences.
Yes.
It says it in your do not remove tag inside your coat. You might fucking die. Okay, so you're knowing that going into this business, and if that scares you, if it hurts your feelings to get yelled and screamed at, I wish, talking about earlier, I wish I had better training. I wish I had somebody else to yell at me like that and to push me and say, "Hey, dumbass, you're doing it wrong. This is going to get you killed."
Yeah.
Then when I actually do it on scene and I cut, this little bitty hole, not a 4x4, and I didn't do it, the chief had, you know, you look stupid.
Right.
Right. And then, nowadays, which I'm glad this was back then, but nowadays you fuck up, everybody has a camera. Everybody has a camera
Mm.
on you. You're going to end up on YouTube. You're going to end up on TikTok. I mean, hell, hopefully you won't end up on the most, was it the world's dumbest people? But I mean, hey, good luck. Good, congratulations if you did. I guess now you're famous.
A fucking men. Yep.
But
What so being in as long, so obviously every new young firefighter becomes an old firefighter. What is one tradition that you sort of liked when you first got in that maybe sort of faded out, but by the time you retired?
making coffee.
Oh, all right.
Look, look, firemen, we want to drink coffee. We don't fucking want to eat it, okay? And now kids don't know how to make a cup of coffee. They put the little cup in there, they make sure they got fucking water in there, and hit the little start button. Yay, yay, yay. Okay, now you got one cup. What about the fucking rest of us? Uh, I mean, mate, take your filter, put your grains in, put your filter in you see where don't just put that shit in there
Right.
because then unless you want some trucker coffee or some marine coffee, I don't know. Uh, Jesus. But anyway, yeah, making coffee that is a lost art. Uh, uh,
No, you're spot on, dude.
but I mean, as the new guy, it's your job to clean the dishes, clean the heads, do the dirty work, and fucking make the coffee. All right. You want to make sure you have. We would drink. What do you say? Five, 6 pots a day,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
of course we have
I
we
would
had we had an engine and a ladder there plus EMS, but they didn't ever pitch you into bless those guys. I mean, they are. Man, I'm going to get some hate mail from this. Holy shit.
Uh, at least it means they still care.
Amen.
So as
Amen.
captain, were you station captain or were you captain of one of the rigs?
I was, well, but we were at the central house, I guess, the station, number one station. And that was a dual house. So we had an engine and a ladder there, and the ladder boss was the station boss. And then I got
Gotcha.
transferred. I got transferred out to a outlying station to where I was the boss there. Yes, sir.
I love it. Man, this is great. So we talked a lot about people chasing their certs and their papers. Um, in your eyes, what's the real difference between a firehouse and a fire station? And what does that, or sorry, why rather, does that distinction matter?
Well, you don't live in a station, do you? It's a
Nope.
firehouse. It's a firehouse. You bitch, you bicker, you laugh, you joke, you eat, you shit. You do it together. Hopefully they have separate showers, but hey, if that's your forte, whatever. Um, but uh, I don't know, dude. I don't know. It's uh,
It's no, that's good stuff, dude.
it. I mean, it's almost firehouse is family. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
firehouse is family. If you want to be at a
Mm,
fire station, if you want to wear a T-shirt, fine. It says fucking fireman, great. Buy one off of eBay or something.
mm,
But treat and I don't understand. You know, my house isn't spotless clean because I live in it, right? Well,
yeah. Yep.
that's the same way you should treat the firehouse. That is a public building. The public can walk in at any point. They shouldn't be going into the sleeping quarters, but have your shit made up, look like you adult, you know? Um,
Yeah.
but it's amazing to see how some of these folks would live, you know, like, hey, would you actually sweep the floor if it was dirty and you didn't have to? Okay,
Mm,
so we're glorified janitors, right? So if it's not clean, we're not going to clean it. Well, it
yeah.
is dirty. If it's dirty, we're gonna clean it. You can play the little bullshit games, take a penny, put it in the corner, and see if the shift has swept. We've all done it. We've all done it.
Yes. Yep.
But it doesn't have to come from proof. Just I mean, when you close the bay doors and you have dust bunnies running across the floor, come on, dude. That didn't happen, right after our shift, okay? I mean, y'all didn't
Yep. Yep.
uh but anyway, a fire station,
No. It's
that's
pride.
where you go to make a paycheck. A firehouse
Hey.
is where you go to make a living and to sit down with family and to do the greatest job in the world.
Oh, I love it, dude. Um, so it's very obvious that you're passionate about helping, new young firefighters and even some of the old crusties. What's one bad habit you see in senior firefighters that can quietly poison the culture?
Standing back,
Okay.
standing
All
back in the
right.
back where you would have you got your most senior guy, that the one that stands back in the back. Oh, these young boys, they can do it first. I've done that 1,000 times. I don't need to do it again. Okay, well, let's do it.
Mm,
And then when you do it wrong and you keep doing it wrong and you keep doing it wrong, when I'm trying to tell you how to do it right, and then when you do it the way I say, success.
yeah. What?
But then the very next rep, you go back to your way and you don't fucking work. So people had to pay attention, get off of that ego shit. Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Get off of the ego shit. And if you don't know something, ask. How do I know you don't know how to do something? I can't say, JP, go grab a 2.5 and stretch it and make a donut roll out of it. If
Right.
JP has never stretched a 2.5 and made a donut roll. I don't know what you don't
Mm,
know, right? And we had talked about on
yeah.
on the podcast, and that's one thing that it's more. You have to be. This is an aggressive job, and you have to move with with swiftness and certainty. But you see, you yeah, you uh,
There it
um
is.
yeah, he had to do that for you. Um,
Oh yeah. Yep.
damn. if you're going to take somebody under your wing, do it for the right reason. Don't do it for clout. Oh yeah, well I taught
Yep.
him, I done that. You know, it's good to see your guys succeed, but at the same time, well, who'd you learn that from? Oh, I learned that from Big John. Well, Big John's a dumbass, okay? Because that is totally wrong. You know, so if you're going to mentor somebody, make sure you know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm. The old fashioned saying, "Don't write a check that your ass can't." Don't let your mouth write a check your ass can't cash. Right?
That's right.
It it
That's
it's
exactly right.
it happens a lot, and people they'll go off and talk about how to be a good leader, and they've never had a fucking bugle on their chest before. Now, all they're really talking about is how a leader treated them and it made them feel uncomfortable or unhappy or whatever the case is. That's not how to be a fucking leader.
Right.
Maybe the boss was on your ass because again, they stood back. They weren't doing what they needed to do. Um, it's so fucking true. Um, so I got kind of a we'll hit back to the mental health just a little bit. So
Okay.
because
All right.
it's a very like you said, this is a heavy fucking job. It really, really is.
Absolutely.
Um, I and you may not be able to answer it, completely or not, but when the job would get heavy, what were some things, if you even did? I mean, maybe you weren't able to, and that's kind of where you found yourself in the situation you were. Were there indicators that you realized that man, that call was wearing on me a little heavier than I should? That
Yeah.
those listening to the show now might be like, oh fuck, man, Big John saw that, and at least helps them get to somewhere to go get the help earlier
Right.
to prevent catastrophic problems in the future.
And also, I don't. I mean, this is still on the topic, but you as a boss, or you as a leader, or hell, even you in the station house. Okay, so you know your guys, you work with them, you live with them basically 10, 20 days a month, however your cycle works out.
Yep.
You should know when something is off. When something is off with your guy, you should know. You should pick up on it. It should stick out to you. Okay. I'm a pretty jovial person. I like to kick around and shoot the shit, but when I'm quiet, you you know, you know,
Sure.
and
Yep.
it's either, hey, do I approach him? Is he mad, or is he just in that fucking leave me alone zone? Or and just look after your guys. Look after your
Mm,
people. Notice signs, and if you're seeing the signs, go talk to them. Hey, man, I'm not coming as a boss. I'm coming as a friend. We don't have to talk in the office. We can go. Hey, you want to go grab a beer later? Um, w- well, when you get off a shift, whatever. Um, do you want to come to the house, man? Let's cook some hamburgers or something. Let's talk. Let's get down to what's bothering you. Because if you're not 100 up here, you're not going to be 100 on my truck, and I don't fucking want it.
mm, right.
Because
Sad.
if
It's a
you're
sad thing and a hard thing to hear, right? But people need to
W
hear it.
well, I mean, if you're not in a good place mentally because your girl broke up with you, or heaven forbid, your dog died, I'd rather hate
Mm,
that than your girl break up with you, but, I mean, everybody, like I said earlier, everybody's going through something, and if you're not 100%, they give you days to take. They're sick days. I like to call them mental days, okay?
hmm
If you need a day, take a day. Like, okay, uh, one of my examples, I had a pretty rough shift. Well, I'd say a pretty rough cycle. I had, 3 accidents with, 2 leaving in fatalities, uh, and that was a lot for that one cycle, and, that
Yeah.
kinda wore on me a little bit, and, you know, when my officer seen, he's like, "Man, we've had a pretty good cycle." We say pretty good, but it's actually, terrible for the folks who don't know what we do. He's
Mm.
like, "We've had pretty good we've had some pretty good ones, ain't we?" I said, "Yes, sir." He said, "Are you okay?" I said, "Yes, sir." He said, "Well, and the last one, there was a infant involved. Um, you know, that wasn't the bad one, but I played the other two back, and that very well could have been on the third one as well.
Mm.
And we talked. We went out. We grabbed a beer. Well, grabbed a beer, which led into a hamburger, which led into another beer.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
just talking, you don't have to be a healthcare professional. You could just shoot the shit, and and I mean, I've got an open door. I've got moonshine in the freezer. I've got Jack Daniels in the freezer. I got cold Pepsi Cola. I've got water, hot chocolate if you want it. I've got something for you to rest and let's sit and talk it out and
Mm.
find out what's going on with you and at least try to get some help. I mean, you don't have to go to a mental hospital, I mean, I did. I checked myself into one. They have very good food, by the way. Um, but but they have you on a damn regiment, man. You get at
Yeah.
8 o'clock you have to get up and at 8:30 we're going to eat breakfast and we all have to walk in a line and hold your quiet signs up and but I'm not making fun of the system, but that helped me a whole lot going and actually and that's the first time I actually ever heard the phrase booty juice. Um,
Oh, okay.
that
Yeah,
that
yeah.
that
Yep.
that was interesting. That was interesting to watch, and that really, boy, he was out of 10, and that brought him right on down to a -1. Like it put his ass 8.
Really?
Yes, sir. It calmed him right
Jeez.
on down. Yeah, they said, "Oh, they gave him the booty juice." So, I don't want none of that.
Shawnee's got some stories about booty juice because she used to work at a psych ward at a local hospital here. Because the first time that the first time that she talked about it, I thought she was talking about like diarrhea or something. She's like, no, it's like it's a sedative that they put right in your ass cheek, and I'm like, well, son
Yes,
of a
yes,
bitch, like
sir.
what the,
Yes, sir.
like God damn,
Like
calm you
this old
right
boy,
the fuck down.
it's awesome.
Oh, I love it, dude. I well, John, look at the time. An hour and 12 we've gone so far.
Yes,
I knew
sir.
you would do it. I knew you
Hell
could.
yeah.
I um I don't really have a whole lot of more questions that I can think back. I have two more if you got them in you. One's our traditional one. But this one again, as a fire service giant, looking back, what do you hope people say you gave to the fire service, not necessarily in rank or accomplishment, but as impact?
Everything I had.
I love it.
That's that's
I
that's
feel you
what I
did.
put into it.
Yep. Dude.
I
I
would like people to say, "Hey, he gave it everything he had. He put everything into it. I tried to lead the fire service better than I found it. Try to make old firemen out of young firemen."
mm, I think you have. I think you have. Um all right. All right, the last question, it's more of a words of advice thing. So for the firefighters listening, they're starting their leadership journey or even their journey in the fire service. What is Big John's one piece of raw and unadulterated advice?
Shit. Learn to make fucking coffee. No, uh, I would say train, man. Train. Uh, Keep your mouth shut and listen twice as much as you talk because you have two ears and one mouth. You will learn a lot just listening and
Mm,
listening to the stories Now they might be bullshit stories, but you know how the kitchen table gets sometime. But listen to the old
Mm,
heads and train. Don't be a paper chaser. But go to every training you can. Um, that's about all I could do, man. That's all I could do is try to make it try to leave it better than I found it. And I mean, you still have your struggles and strifes, and that's gonna be what it's gonna be. Um, but
mhm.
stick together as your brothers, as you should, and don't just use that as a fucking word to throw around. Um,
Amen.
but if you want to listen to our stuff, you could plug into Halligan's and Half Wheels. Throw a little bit of sponsor out there for you.
Yeah, brother. It's a good show. Yep, it's definitely a
Halligan,
great show.
Halligan's, Halligan's and Half Wheels on all your listening platforms, YouTube, and then if you need any training, box1971.com. We'll set you up. We'll get in there, and hopefully we can get a chance to meet each other and yell at each other.
Woo! I love it.
Sounds
Is
good,
there
brother.
is there anything that we've left on the table that you want to talk about?
Well, let's talk about spouses. Spouses
Okay.
in the fire
All right.
service.
Sure.
Uh,
All right.
that's going to lead a whole nother role. Uh, that plays a lot in your mental and your physical job. Because if Mama got you doing the honeydew list, and I got to go to work tomorrow, I'm going to be sore. I ain't going to want to work. So Mama gonna have to let up
That's
on
true.
that. Mama, you listening? You better let up on that list. All these boys. Uh, but that's a lot to say something about the spouses in the fire service because they are the ones. My wife, especially, she's a strong character, and unfortunately, I taught her how to shoot, so now I know she can shoot. Um, but 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 she absolutely took the brunt of my attitude, and
Mhm.
like I said, I was an asshole to myself, and she took it on the chin, and she's like, you know, I ain't putting up with this shit. Okay, yeah, I agree. All right, I can't stand myself. And then when it got to the point to where she saw the the quiet times,
Mhm.
she knows me well enough. If you get a man and he gets quiet and he just stares off, he's not just daydreaming. He's thinking. He like
Yeah.
that's our time, right? And she saw that, and she would ask, what's wrong? And I'd never open up to her. I'd never tell her, that's work stuff. Well, she would get mad. She was like, well, how was your day at work? I'm like, it was work. It was all right. She's like, bullshit, bullshit. Something else happened besides work. Okay. She said, so if I was Jeremy and called you and say, hey man, how was shift? I want you to tell, oh yeah, man, this year we done this. She's like, that's what I want. I'm like, well, but I don't want to burden you with the things that I don't see mundane, or things that I do see mundane. Well, you go,
Mhm.
okay, we washed the fire trucks, we done this, we ran this many calls, we EMS jobs, uh, and it, it doesn't it doesn't circle around to you that you're actually putting that I would say she is taking that off of me. I am venting to her, not venting
Mhm.
at her, but venting to her in my own way. And she is the one taking the brunt of that. So a lot of, I think, spouses of first responders, they deserve a little bit of recognition to because they're the ones that put up with our asses.
Ooh. There's a fuck ton to be said about that. I think Um, there's classes to be had and formed about just that, whether it be how to support your first responder spouse or whatever the case is. So I think you might be touching on something, John, that we can that might need to be added to some training regimen and stuff like that.
Hey, well, you
It-
know, I know a guy.
right,
Well,
right. I mean, so I mean I know I ruined my first marriage partly because of, my commitment to the service and my inability
right,
to vent bad stuff. And I mean I'm fortunate myself now with the second one who's in the service who gets it. And traditionally we respond to the same calls, so it's easy to not, I don't have to go through the whole background of, okay, so there we were, and paint the picture of, John pulled up and he didn't put the, he was an idiot and didn't, pull the parking brakes. The truck rolled 10 feet forward. So that was kind of scary. And then he pulls the parking brake. Then I fall out of the truck. It's already there because she's there. She knows it. Right. But there is a lot to be said and a lot of real estate to be gained in the fire service of including our spouses in certain things like that,
right,
classes and recognition. Because if we really want to hit on this, to the more volunteer side of the world, um, I don't know about you, but I definitely feel that we have more of a retention problem. It's people want to still come and help their neighbors. They still want to do the humane thing of making, society better in some way, shape, or form.
right,
But they're not going to show up if they're going to get belittled or whatever the case is. And aside from that, back to the spouse, is it's hard to volunteer if you're getting the pressure from home of, oh, another training. Oh my god, you're really gonna go to that box alarm? Like it's not gonna be anything. It's the
same
freaking
old
Chinese
song.
joint. They exactly right. And it's, or you just came off shift and you're getting mandoed back in. Well, that's cool. I guess we're not gonna go do Christmas shopping tonight then, huh? So now
No,
it's,
yeah,
you get the
I'm
strain
going
of,
for a bando to come back today and make your ass some money so you can go Christmas shopping. How about that?
right. What a double-edged sword, right?
That's right.
There's a lot to be said. I think behind the cloak of every, fire service hero, so to speak, is the one who's really actually holding it together, and their spouse, and at home and whatnot.
Right,
So
right.
um
Well,
you're onto it.
here's another thing, JP. This doesn't matter for volunteer or career. Is your difficult conversations.
Okay. Yeah.
Have you had those difficult conversations with your spouse? What if something happens? What do you want? What do you want done? Um,
Mm,
and you know, make sure your affairs are in order for sure, because
mm-hmm,
well, not even for the job, but you know, we never know. Tomorrow's never promised. So make sure you have
mm,
your affairs in order, but have those difficult conversations. Hey, honey, what if a chief buggy pulled up? You know, um, and that kind of puts things in a whole nother perspective because, yeah, she knows it's a dangerous job, but now we're talking about, oh shit, now he might not be here. So
right.
yeah,
Now it's real.
that's right. That's right. So have those difficult conversations with your spouses and your
Mm.
significant others and moms and dads and whoever else gives a damn about you.
Amen. What about let's go back to being an officer for a second. How about difficult conversations with those at the station, right? I think everybody who is an officer, it's fun to have the responsibility of being the mentor, but it's never fun to have the responsibility of needing to tell somebody that they fucked up and you got to write them up or whatever the case is. Um, how did you handle that? When you were, as the boss, as far as discipline, was it just, were you able to have the straightforward, hey, you fucked up and this is your slip for it, or did you find over time you sort of needed to kind of handle it differently between different firefighters?
No, I am who I am. You're not going to get anybody different than what Jeremy's going to get or anybody else. I am who I
Yep.
am. I'm not gonna sugarcoat shit. My name ain't Willy Wonka, and I'm gonna put it to you. I'm gonna put it to you like it is, because most times people need to hear how it is. They
Mm,
want to hear it so they feel good. I'm not about your feelings.
right.
You know, I'm not here to babysit your feelings. That's a you job. But yeah,
I love it. All right, brother. We hour and a half. Good shit. Good soup. It's a good way to start the new year off.
is
Um
that all you got? Just an hour and a half? Damn, man, I got 2 drinks waiting for me. I'm sitting right here ready to go.
Oh my god. I
Let let
I I love it.
let me ask you a question, JP.
Yeah, of course. Let's flip the script. All right.
Yeah. What is your greatest accomplishment so
Oh,
far in your career?
my greatest accomplishment. Damn, man. This is a nice little flip of the script. I do have to say this is a good flip. Honestly, my greatest accomplishment is not a singular thing. It is the growth of certain things. Specifically, more recently, it's really the growth of seeing this platform. It's not just me with, say, firefighters Smith and Jones or whatever the case is. It's my greatest accomplishments now are being able to see how I can help have positive impacts with people from across town lines, across state lines, across regional areas and boundaries now.
Right, right,
Um, so that is my career, great accomplishments. It's it's hard because honestly, and the reason that the question is the hardest is I hate talking about myself. That's why I'm
right,
not really a guest a lot of times on podcasts because it's hard to say a lot of I's and me's because I'm a huge advocate of there's no possession to be had in the fire service other than our duty to our citizens.
right,
Um but yeah, that would be my greatest accomplishment actually is how much I've been able to see this platform grow, how it's grown friendships across different time zones and all of that crazy shit. So
right.
that's really where I like that. I like the flip of the script. I like it. It's good shit.
Hey, and you know what? We added an extra 3 minutes.
Hey man, no, oh my gosh, I'm so happy that I was able to get you on this on I know Jeremy ain't a big fan of the word honored or humbled, but I'm honored and humble to have you on the show because you bring a lot of value to the fire service. And what I will say is it was the impact that I saw that you had with him that actually really really made it eye opening for me. So with that
What you mean?
said,
What do you mean? You caught us kissing or something?
no, it was I no no I will actually the way that he fondly talks about not fondly
Yeah,
talks
you had
about
you
you.
you had me excited for a minute.
The way that he fondly talks about you, it's obvious that you left a lasting impact on him. And I believe that you should see a lot of yourself within him as far as how he portrays himself and stuff like that. So, um, that he better be shaking his head yes behind the camera. That's all I can say.
We won't say. We won't say. Um, man, we struck it off when. Oh hell, we're gonna go another 5 minutes.
Fuck it. Run with
we,
it,
we,
dude.
we,
Run with it.
so when he first came and we met up at a fools meeting downtown Raleigh, he gave me my first ever challenge coin, which I still keep in my wallet because I don't want to buy. I don't want to be the one that had to buy around. Um, but from that night we hit it off, and he got hired on with the county, and that I was employed at, and we went to a ball game together, and Next thing you know, I'm on the interview panel and he gets hired. I don't, I don't know what happened there. That's that's supposedly what happened, but people like to run their mouth, and it's okay
Oh, they will.
because
Yep.
that just gives that if somebody's talking about me, they're giving somebody else a rest, right?
Yeah, that's one way to look at it. Yep. God, some fucking people, man. I tell you, some people will talk just to hear their own because they like the sound of their own fucking voice. It's so bad.
Oh, so
And
they like talk on the
let
radio.
them, yeah, yep, like podcasts
God,
and radios and stuff like that.
Jesus.
Oh man, I love it. That's John Boy. That's all I got, dude. I thank you so much for getting on the show. I know
Thank
for
you.
a fact that there's going to be something in this hour and a half long conversation that's people are they're gonna take home.
I hope
Um,
so.
so
And not that I'm
thank you
not
for
that
spending
something
time.
come up with something other than I'm an asshole, please. Think good thoughts
Oh
of me.
yeah, hey, dude, amen. If somebody thinks that you're an asshole, it's because you held them accountable to a standard they should have held themselves accountable to. So that's not on you. That's on
Wow.
them.
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yep.
Yes, sir. That makes me feel a lot better about
Awesome.
myself now.
Amen, brother. All right. So listen, thank you so much for spending time with us. And to the viewers and the listeners, thank you for spending time today with the Passionate Leader podcast. If something today hit home, don't sit on it, share it. Follow the Passionate Leader across all platforms and pull up a chair every Sunday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on TikTok, where we go live and that's where leadership meets the kitchen table and real talk drives real change. If you want a deep conversation or even deeper conversation, as to say, and a first access to exclusive offers, consider joining the Patreon page and step into the inner circle. As always, guys, though, be the kind of leader that someone was praying for, be the leader that you were praying for, and no matter what comes your way, remember this: lead with passion, serve with humility, and leave no room for bottom feeders. Until we meet again, guys, stay safe.
Stay safe.